Hi there, welcome to Lilly-Tree. Do you want to get some pliers for making jewellery but you're not quite sure what to look for? In this video we're looking at the basic jewellery pliers, and this is part of my Jewellery Tool Talk series, where we take a look at the tools that we need and we'll love to use for our jewellery making. So let's talk pliers. To start making jewellery, you only need three basic tools: the chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and wire cutters. These are the only tools I have for a number of years, and in fact these two are from my original set. There are loads of other pliers and variations on these, but I recommend getting a basic set to start with, and then depending on the type of jewellery you settle into making, you can decide which tools to add to your kit later. So when buying, there are a few features to look out for. The first is size. These pliers are about average. You can get some that are longer, and there's a lot of mini plier sets around. These can be just 3 inches long and are great for travelling. Some people like to use them day to day too, but personally I'd recommend getting some that fit comfortably in your hand and are comfortable to operate. Generally that's being able to squeeze them with all of your fingers and your palm. The second thing to look for is a good spring action. Most pliers will have spring action, which is really helpful as you don't have to pull them open. They can come in different types, like this actual spring, or metal strips. You preferably don't want the spring action to push them too wide though, or you're overstretching to start closing them. And the third thing to look for is the type of handles. You can get plastic sleeve coating, different types of moulded plastic, or perhaps foam covered. You might find one is more comfortable than another, but I haven't had any particular problems with any of them, so it really is a matter of preference. So let's take a look at each of the pliers in turn. First off, the round nose pliers. These are for making loops, on the end of wires or on head pins and eye pins. Having a pair with long noses means that you can get a greater range of loop sizes, and with a fine tip you can make small tight loops. On to the chain nose pliers. These do a lot of jobs for you. They're great for gripping wire, making bends, opening and closing loops and jump rings, and settling wirework. Check that the jaws meet along their length to give you a good grip on the wire. You can also get flat nose pliers, which have a wider, flatter jaw, but I find that the chain nose are a little easier to use and they can get into tighter spaces. And then we have the wire cutters, which are for, would you believe it, cutting wire. When you're cutting thicker wires, if you can, it's worth using the innermost part of the jaws, which gives you a bit more force for the cut. This also saves the points for finer work. I'll be looking at upgrades for each of the pliers later in the series, but just to preempt that a little bit, I'll say if you can, get flush cutting pliers. This type are most often referred to as side cutters, and if you look at the blades you can see a chamfer on each side. The flush cutters tend to look more like this, but what you'll find is no chamfer showing on the underside. The blades are flat. So with side cutters, both cut ends of the wire will be points, where with flush cutters, one will be a point, but one will be flush, or straight across. This can really help give you a professional finish. If you're looking for your first set of pliers, or even a new set, the choice available is astounding. I hope the information in this video has helped a bit, but I've also taken a look at Amazon, both in the US and the UK, to give you an idea of what I'd pick. And I've put the links below in the description to give you a starting point. They are affiliate links, so I get a small percentage if you buy through that link. I've gone for reasonable price sets. I find with most jewellery tools, the higher the price, the better the quality, and the longer they'll last. But to start, I'd go for a mid-price range, and then you can upgrade later when you know what you prefer. Okay, I hope that's helped. If you want a bit of inspiration on what you can do with these pliers, I'll link a video up in the card above that just uses these 3 pliers to make it. And if you want to look at the pliers upgrades and the other tools I recommend, check out my tools page on my website. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and I'll see you soon.